our story. Now, yesterday, in chapter 16, Leonora and Stuart had met in the bingo hall, and Leonora was telling Stuart, she was about to tell Stuart that Lily hadn't been killed, that she had actually disappeared. And the novel starts with a picture of a burning factory. And if you remember, Horten's factory, we'd already found out, had been burnt down in World War II. So, as we're listening today, this is an image of a burning factory from World War II. So there was when the German planes were dropping bombs. So that's what the factory must have looked something like. Anyway, so let's get on. When the war started, said Leonora, the Horten factory stopped making its usual items and started making swivel joints for anti-aircraft guns. It was important war work, which meant that your grandfather, Ray, wasn't called up for the army. He was allowed to stay and look after the factory. And Great-Uncle Tony? Asked Stuart. He was below the minimum height requirement. Oh, too short to be a soldier? Yes. So he stayed in Beaton too and became an air raid warden, and he got on with what he liked doing best, which was inventing new stage tricks. He was really beginning to make a name for himself. Teeny Tiny Tony Horten, said Stuart. That's right. People still went to the theatre during the war. They were desperate for entertainment and had more bookings than ever. And then Ray was asked to travel around to other factories to advise on making swivel joints, and Tony said not to worry and he'd look after everything while his brother was away. Oh, said Stuart, sensing doom. One evening, Tony and Lily were in the workshop. Night shift had just started in the factory. Tony was rehearsing a new illusion ready for his next tour. He never bothered with the things that other magicians use, like silly handkerchiefs or doves or playing cards. He might not have been interested in the family factory, but he was a brilliant engineer in the tradition of Victorian stage magicians. And there had been one of those in the family once. Did you know that? The great Horteni? Supplied Stuart, dimly remembering the librarian droning on about the history of the Hortens. That's right. Well, Tony was inspired by that, and what he built for his shows was beautiful mechanisms, magical doors into nowhere, pyramids with sliding walls, mirrored arches with 100 reflections. I remember going to see a performance, and though I couldn't see the stage clearly, I could see the glitter and brilliance of it, and I could see Lily disappearing and reappearing in her silver costume, and I could hear the gasps from the audience. Leonora stopped speaking for a while, and Stuart waited, picking up crumbs from his banoffee pie with a damp finger, idly watching a white dove that had landed on the window ledge just outside. Children, we keep on seeing this white dove in different chapters. I'm getting a bit suspicious. I'm sorry, said Leonora, after another minute. I started thinking about Lily and Tony. They were both hot-tempered people, forever arguing, two firecrackers in a box. But they loved each other so much. Being with them was like warming your hands on a bonfire. I've had a busy life, but there hasn't been a single day when I haven't missed them. And as I get older, I seem to miss them more and more. The dove on the window ledge clattered its wings and took off again, swooping towards the pavement opposite the bingo hall, and almost landing